Back it up. Because this tea is scorching. Wendy Williams is back and she's spilling everything she knows about Diddy. And let's just say it's not looking good for him. From exposing his shady past to linking him to the LA wildfires. Yes, you heard that right. Wendy is holding nothing back. And guess who's backing her up? None other than Katt Williams, who's been warning us about this mess for years. Did Diddy really have this much power over Wendy's career? And could he actually be involved in something way bigger than we ever imagined? Grab your popcorn, because this is about to get really messy. Let's get into it. Wendy Williams exposes Diddy in shocking LA fire theory. Wendy Williams has made her return, and despite what her guardian Sabrina wanted people to believe, she is far from being incapable. Turns out Sabrina came up with that story just to mislead the court into thinking Wendy wasn't in her right mind. Also, she could reportedly keep collecting a share of Wendy's money. But Wendy wasn't about to stay quiet. She laid everything out, especially when it came to Diddy. She didn't hold anything back. Not only did she confirm the long-standing talk about Diddy getting her kicked off hot after she put him on blast for being on the down low, but she also revealed even more secrets about him, things most people had no clue about. And if that wasn't enough, she even connected him to the recent California wildfires, which strangely destroyed the homes of several big-name celebrities. If you weren't aware of what Diddy did to Wendy back in, here's how it all went down. It began when Wendy got on the radio and shared that she had received some pictures of Diddy in a compromising situation, getting oral pleasure from another man while he was on a trip to Cancun. She didn't spill all the details right away, but she made it clear that she planned to discuss it further and even release the photos during her next segment. Before she even got the chance, Diddy took action. He contacted the higher-ups at Hot and demanded that they fire Wendy immediately. For whatever reason, he had enough influence at that time, especially in New York, to make it happen. Just like that, they followed his orders and let her go. No questions asked. Diddy's revenge: how Wendy Williams got blacklisted. Diddy went even further and spread the message to every radio station in New York, making it clear that they were not to give Wendy a job. Because of this, she was completely shut out from working in the city. With no opportunities left and bills piling up, she had no choice but to leave New York just to survive. Wendy also stated that Diddy sent the girl group that was signed to his label Bad Boy to pull up on her at the radio station to jump her. Wendy Williams was never one to shy away from drama, but this time she found herself in the middle of a storm she couldn't escape. The word on the street. She had a scandalous email in her hands, one that showed Diddy in a seriously compromising position. Allegedly, while in Cancun, a guy playfully pulled down Puff's trunks and some nearby girls snapped the moment, sending it straight to Wendy. And of course she was ready to blow it up. But Diddy wasn't having any of it. When he caught wind that Wendy was spreading the word and even showing people the email, he flexed his power in the industry. He reportedly called up Hot and gave them an ultimatum, which is to fire Wendy before he got back to New York, or the entire station would be blacklisted. No music from him, no music from his friends. No access to top execs. It was a career-ending move if they didn't comply. Fast forward a few days. Diddy's back in New York and Wendy. She's out. By the time the plane landed, she was already fired. Not even from Hot, but shipped off to a station in Philly. Talk about a power move. Wendy Williams dodges showdown with Total the Untold Story. It was a scene straight out of a movie. Chaotic, dramatic, and straight-up messy. Wendy Williams had barely said her goodnights before things started popping off outside. Total, the R&B girl group, was downstairs, waiting, and not for a friendly chat. According to Wendy, there was no security, no entourage, just 3 ready-to-swing women and a van driven by some little Chinese man. Meanwhile, upstairs, the entire radio station crew was glued to the window, practically egging on the drama. Everybody was pressed up against the window, Wendy recalled, knowing something was about to go down, but she was completely unaware of the setup. Was just trying to clock out and head home. When the clock strikes, it is time to go. It is time to go, she said. As soon as she stepped outside, chaos erupted. I didn't even get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, Wendy admitted. Out of nowhere, a loud commotion started, and she was still trying to figure out what was happening. Her co-workers rushed to check and had dropped a bombshell. I sent cowering and scowl out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says that's Total outside. They were about to set it on you. Wendy revealed, still trying to wrap her head around the situation. Whether it was fate or just good timing, She had just dodged a serious showdown. Wendy was stunned, piecing together that the trio had been waiting to confront her. Compilations of Wendy Williams' no-holds-barred comments on Diddy. Wendy Williams has never been one to hold back, especially when it comes to Diddy's countless name changes. While the music mogul is constantly reinventing himself, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, and now Love, Wendy's not having it. On her talk show, she made it clear that she was. "I don't like when people change their names in the middle of our relationship," Wendy said, rolling her eyes. "Like, don't tell me to call you Diddy. I know you as Puffy. That's it." The audience cracked up. But Wendy wasn't just being funny. She was sending a message. Diddy, or whatever he's calling himself, might be constantly changing. But Wendy's not interested in jumping on the name change bandwagon. But Wendy's beef with Diddy runs deeper than just his name changes. In her book, The Wendy Williams Experience, she revealed the contempt she had for the mogul, claiming that he single-handedly tried to ruin her career. But despite all the tension, Wendy made it clear that she didn't harbor hate toward him. While she might not be holding a grudge, Wendy certainly wasn't about to forget how Diddy played a part in her struggles. Wendy's sharp commentary doesn't stop with Diddy's name changes or his past actions. She's also called out his notorious playboy ways back in. Wendy didn't hold back from sharing her thoughts on Diddy's relationships, suggesting that he wouldn't settle down anytime soon. "He'll pick a woman and settle down, but right now I don't think he will," Wendy claimed during an episode of her talk show about to follow his latest rebrand. "I think he's leading this playboy lifestyle where he's got these women in his life, where he's got them hypnotized." Wendy's scathing remarks about Diddy's party boy behavior weren't just playful jabs. They were calling out his unwillingness to commit, even as he's aged. However, by and hashtag, Wendy and Diddy appeared to have put their differences behind them. When Diddy made a guest appearance on her show, Wendy couldn't help but comment on his appearance, noting how great he looked. He showed up. He smelled great. His stomach was flat.